All right, happy Friday. We made it to episode 123 of this Homestead Shop Talk podcast with Al from Lumna Acres, Ben from Holler Homestead, and myself, Jason from Land. And have you guys ever wrestled a turkey?
Yes. Yes, I have.
Yeah, I was wrestling till the death this week. I'm still alive, so little hint.
Jason 1, Turkey 0.
Yeah, which
Turkey
was
did.
yeah, it was fun.
You didn't pardon any?
What's that?
You didn't pardon any of your turkeys?
No, I did not. Almost parted that one, but I was like, no. So you get any more snow? You get any snow yet, Al?
Not yet.
Oh man. I remember in 2016 when we first moved out here to North Carolina, on Halloween there was snow coming down.
Really?
I'll never forget that because I was like, you know, coming from California, I'm like, whoa, on Halloween.
Were you excited or were you freaking out? Like, what did I get myself into?
Yeah, as a little bit of both. Yeah, for sure. I was like, I can't believe there's snow ha coming down on Halloween.
That's early.
That's
Yeah,
really, really.
I don't think it's not that I recall. I don't think I've never noticed that happen again. It was wild.
Did you guys get any snow last year?
Yeah, we got snow last year. What did we get, Jason? Like 6 inches?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, it
Like,
was.
It stuck around for a while, though. I think we had it
Yeah.
for better part of a month because it snowed and then it stayed cold. Like right after it snowed, there was a couple days it never even got above freezing. Like it just stayed freezing cold. We had a skating rink out in front of our house.
Yeah, probably just barely enough to go sledding for a little bit. Like just enough. You probably would laugh out and like, nah, this is not enough. But for us, it's like just enough.
He's like, I can still see grass blades sticking out.
Yeah, you're
This
like,
is
"Pff,
nothing.
yeah,
it ain't ready yet.
yeah, no. So who wants to go first this week? Talk about their week.
I'll go.
Go for it, Al.
So we started on our big fencing project.
Yes.
Yes. So me and Gina started. We got we ended up getting all of our H braces up. We got our fence pulled out. So we were using a tractor with a fence stretcher on the back of it and 3-point hitch. We had 10 rolls is what I bought. We ended up putting 9 up. But the first roll I put it up. So the area we started working on, it's like, this is probably like the worst area to start, but it's like the area you see the least. So it's like I don't want to start on the front where everybody's gonna see if we mess up, which is the front's the easy part. Like it's a straight line. That's
Because
like
it's your first go at it.
my first go at it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I was
like,
the same way. I was the same way. I started in a spot where you don't really see it.
yep,
I was like, well, if I mess up my practice.
that's right. It's just
Yeah.
practice. Nobody else knows but me.
So why
So
was it the worst spot?
so it has like 2 or 3 dips in it, and then it has a corner, and the corner is tight to a ditch. Like it's wide enough for like 6 feet so you can drive it with a tractor, but to kind of like get in the corner, and then you got a weird pull
Hmm.
thing. So we got the fence set up, did our first pull. I didn't like it, so we went even further, and then I was pulling, and I didn't think I was pulling that hard. Well, I pulled the H braces out of the ground just about. Not out of the ground a lot, but like they went like this, just a little bit because we hadn't had any rain all summer, and then we got a little bit of rain. We've probably gotten what, 5 inches of rain in the last couple of weeks. So the ground's kind of saturated. So they kind of tipped. So I will say when you're using a tractor, you really don't have to go like much movement to get tension on the fence.
Oh yeah.
But what I was trying to do is I was watching the fence, so hoping it would stand up, and it never really stood up all the way.
Hmm.
So that's what I was kind of going for. And I was probably 150 feet away. And then it was just me and Gina doing it. So it's kind of hard to like communicate as you're going in a tractor. So we got that all apart. I'm like, I'm going to take these posts back out and re-drill them and then put them back in. I'm like, because if I get, rocks under them or something, I'm like, they're not going to be secure. So we took
Or
them out.
were they concreted in?
No,
Mm.
no, we post hole dig them, and then we were using ledge pack, and we were packing them with ledge pack, like, so that way we could get rid of any of the big rocks. and just pack them in good. So
So
we
I
did.
noticed I did see that video, Al. I saw you doing fencing. I was like, I'm gonna watch this video. Uh, so you added or for the diagonal braces, you put gripples.
Yep.
Because when that happened, I saw that those fences go slanted, and I was like, I wonder if you were to use the tensioners, if it would like if you could like pop it back into place.
Well, I think I could have popped them into place the way they were, but I just
Okay.
didn't like that it had moved and you saw the soil
Mhm.
shift. So I was like,
It probably would have stayed like soft
I
or
would have stayed softer. I
yeah.
don't know if they would have been deep enough. And we were hanging a gate right there. So I was
Oh,
like,
right.
we
Right.
probably could get away with just taking like loosening the fence up and
Hmm.
leaving it. I'm like, this is where we're first starting. We're gonna have a gate. Let's just redo it.
Yeah.
So I took it all back apart and then I just re-drilled the holes. And then of course we had H braces already cut. And when I re-drilled the holes, they were a little bit wider. So the H brace that I had was too short.
Oh
So I
yeah.
said I had an extra 6x6. So I said, okay, I guess I'll just drill a third hole and then we'll use that H brace and just be able to cut it up. Well, then I broke my auger bit on my last hole.
Gosh.
But the good thing about that is our editing, I was able to find out afterwards that it was my fault and I put too much pressure on the auger going sideways and I snapped it coming out of the ground. So I kept the fence on the ground because I was just too lazy not to roll it back up. So I had the excavator stretched out over the fence to drill, and I had too far of a stretch drilling, so it wasn't going like completely straight to pick it up. It kind of angled it and it was on a rock, so I just snapped it off.
Mm.
So it's good to know it didn't break off drilling in rocks, that it was user error more than anything.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Still, dang.
It's still stung.
Did you break the auger or was it like the shear pins?
No, it broke the auger right where
Oh,
so
yikes.
mine goes from circular to hex. It's got a hex head that it fits onto, so like that the two adapters where it welds broke. So I'm gonna try re-welding it. I just haven't yet. And we'll see how that works. But
Can't have nothing nice.
no,
I
can't. I mean,
know.
we so when I first got that, I did my solar array with it, and my solar array was very rocky. And then we drilled with that, we probably drilled over 100 holes on the fence post, and they're pretty rocky. So I mean, it had its use. I mean, we'll fix it. We'll be able to use it again. So considering it was the last hole, I think we were pretty lucky there. But
Heck yeah.
so then we had my brother came up with his sons the following day, and it went a lot easier having a lot of people. So I think for us, some of it's the soil. Like we're rocky soil, so you can't go super deep on every hole because you hit a rock. And as nice as it was having a dry summer, I think it being so dry wasn't a benefit for fence posting because it was just mostly like powder we were drilling in. So when you're
Mm.
packing everything back down afterwards, there wasn't like a lot of stuff to pack the post, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Give it like a good compaction. It was just kind of like you can't compact like dry concrete kind of thing.
Well, because I noticed you went around the corner, so you didn't like end the woven wire there.
Yep.
So how far of it was a stretch? Like, did you go? Like, how many feet? Like
So
one
we
run?
so our fence rolls were 330 feet. We went as far as we could go.
Oh, okay.
But what we would do is we would spread it out and then we would tighten it. And if we had to, we'd back up and go as far as we could. Like sometimes we could only go say like 5 posts at a time, and we'd stretch it tight to those 5 posts, but have the fence all the way out as far as we could. And then there's a lot of tension on the staples, which I know for like a high tensile woven wire fence, that's not how a lot of people like to do it. But how you guys feel for the high tensile woven wire fence that is stretched and all of the tension is just on the corners. If a car drives through it or if a moose or something runs through it, your fence breaks and your whole fence is down. Or if you have it stapled to your post and tensioned kind of like each post, if something breaks, you're only losing that section of fence. That's kind of how my head works.
Yeah, I mean, I think the idea isn't, I think the idea is that you should be able to like over time like stretch it. Like if you need to re-stretch it, then you need to take off those staples, right?
On high tensile.
Yeah.
Yep. But nobody's gonna take their staples back out. I ain't taking my
No.
staples back
No.
out.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like maybe I think that's why people maybe don't put the staples in,
Oh,
or they
gotcha.
put them in loose so that way the wire can still move.
Right. I guess my thing is if something goes through that fence, if somebody runs through it or if a moose or
Hmm.
an animal takes it, like your whole fence is down.
Dang, I want to
You're-
see a moose go through that.
I think something already went through it. Like there's one section of fence, the top of it's all like crushed in already.
Oh man.
So I had a moose run out in front of me 2 weeks ago in that area. So I'm assuming it was either a moose or a deer, but I would say a moose probably.
Oh
That's
geez.
crazy.
Yep. And then we got it in the comments, people telling us how we should have done everything. Some people don't like that put the fence on the outside of the post and not on the inside. So I have two reasons I did it. Two reasons is the first reason is if something comes from the other end, it's keeping that animal or thing out from the pasture. And if your animals are inside and you have the post on the inside and not the fence, they're weed whacking up against that fence a lot better for you. And that's less for
Mm,
you to have to weed whack. I mean,
I
that's,
like that.
Yeah.
It's pretty smart.
I mean, that's just my reasoning in my head. But I'm like, if we do it the other way, you got to weed whack all of that. And then if you were going to pull around your post, what would you do? Weave around your post on your corners, I should say. Like if you're
Mm.
all on the inside, what do you do for your corners? You go back out.
Means all that tension's supported on staples.
Yeah. So
You just don't weed whack. You just let it
you
go.
just let it. I mean, there's one section of fence that we took out. That's what happened, and it's just all trees growing through it.
Yeah. Yeah. I see. Yeah, I know. It's just I don't know. It's really personal preference maybe, but do you plan
Ignore
on
the
putting
experts.
any kind of boards up top or like uh
And some areas we'll do boards. A lot of the areas is just going to stay the fence, and we'll put electric wire up high,
oh,
and we'll
okay,
put
yeah.
one in the middle.
I imagine electric wire will that even do anything for a moose?
No, not for a moose. It would just basically keep our livestock
Yeah,
off putting pressure on the fence.
right.
But yeah, no, the moose, they don't care. They, they're just so dumb. They don't. Even the deer. Joel was saying if you use the aluminum electric fence wire, it stays shiny, and they have found that the deer stay away from that
Mm,
versus
yeah.
the steel. The steel dulls out quicker,
Hmm.
but the aluminum stays shiny, and he said that that usually keeps the deer away from it. I don't know if that'll work with the moose,
Hang some old CDs on it.
right?
Mhm.
I know where Al is. He has that CD fence.
Look at the CD collection.
How'd you like them gripples? Did you like them?
Yeah,
I have
I,
not used them before, but
I think they worked handy. I liked them for doing like the tension diagonals and then for joining the fences. Because like, did you join your fence with knots? Or
I just twisted them together with my
yeah,
hand, but I can see where the gripple would be very handy for that.
that came in handy. So it was nice to have because we had like what five people one day and then seven people the next. So if you had to keep stopping and tying all the knots, it just slowed everything down. So it's like, nope, let's just
Yeah.
go ahead and use the gripples. And I had them from our last fencing project, and I liked them. And then you can retension them whenever you want. It's
Yeah,
just
that's
kind of
cool. I didn't realize you could do that because I was like, oh, what about yeah.
you can retension them because the pliers that you use to tension them, they tension it, and like you can set that for a different like torque spec. And then
Oh,
you can
nice.
also you can take them apart. There's like a little. It's just if you put
Hmm.
like a little wire in, it just releases the tension off of the little like ratcheting mechanism inside. Then you can
Yeah.
slide it out.
Oh.
But they do make so instead of tying the knots when you go around your posts, it's like a T one. It's got like two fingers, so it grabs the wires like this, and then you put
Hmm.
but those were like a lot of money. I was like, yeah, like you need way too many of those. I'm like, it would be so nice not
Yeah.
having to twist everything, but
That's like one per wire, right? You need one?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. No
And
way.
there's 10 on. I was like, yeah, no, we have too many corners or too many gate posts that we're doing for that.
Yeah, I like how you went around the corner. Like you didn't stop at the corner
Hmm.
because I think it's easier to do that with a tractor because you can just keep driving.
Yep. So did you stop at your corners and then tied them off everyone?
Yeah, every H brace I stopped and
Okay.
tied it off and then started another one. So that right there is very time consuming
Yep.
because you're having to stop and then tie it off and then tie another
Right.
one on
Tie
and then
another one.
yeah.
Yep. It's crazy how much time it takes to do fencing.
Oh yeah.
It's very time consuming.
Yeah, I imagine with the tractor, there's a little bit of, like you said, like you can't, you almost you have to fill it out and
Yep.
don't overstretch it.
Overstretching. We had like two or three people down the fence line because it was like in some areas it'd be tight, in some areas it wouldn't. So where it was tight, we would stop and just tighten to that area, and then just kind of like have to keep working it that way.
Yeah, I wrote this down. I was like, I'm gonna take notes. Yeah, I like it. What I think you're about to roll out. I think it was the first wire, and Gina asked you if you're excited or something in the video, and you just look like, yeah. I forget what you said, but it was just kind of like, yeah, I guess. Well, I don't know.
So
I thought it was funny.
just never know you're getting yourself into for the first time.
Yeah. And the
I will.
fence stapler is pretty cool.
That worked out nice.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine because we put in, I don't know, you figure probably put 10 to 8 staples per post. And we have 100 and say 60 posts. So I'll just times it by 8. 8 times 160. So that's 1,200 staples, almost 1,300 staples.
Wow.
My brother-in-law helped and he was talking to his dad, and his dad was an old farmer, and he was like, "You put in how many posts? You're gonna be sore stapling all that stuff." He was like, "Oh no, Dad. They make a tool for that now."
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, he was like, I'm purposely not putting that many posts.
Right. Yeah. And on one area, we put in 60 posts, and there used to be 120 posts. So they had a post every 8 feet, and we went like every 16 feet with a post.
Mm,
And they had those were all hand stapled. I couldn't
man.
imagine doing that. Like people must have had some jacked forearms back in the day.
Heck yeah, or just a bunch of people just going town whacking.
Right.
So you put up how many rolls?
9 rolls so far. We
And
have
how many days did that take?
it took us 3 days.
Man, that's really good.
Yeah. If we would have known we were doing the first day, I should say it probably took 2 days because the first day was just all like a
Hmm.
headache day. Like, so it took 2 days with say average 6 people. But it was having that many people was perfect because it was fun. Like it was work, but it was like leisurely work.
Yeah.
Everybody just got to have fun. Like we were all just shooting the shit with everybody, just having a good time. Everybody enjoyed it. So,
That's the way to do it if you
yep,
can.
yep.
Because
And
no one's like super sore the next day because you're all
right.
working together.
Yep. We had perfect weather. It was probably like 60s, 50s, 60s. Not too hot, not too cold. The sun was out. So my thing was, I'm like, man, if it gets too cold, like this fence is not going to be fun to touch. And I don't know how it's going to stretch when it's that cold out. You know, if it was like, say, 40s or 30s,
Yeah.
I think it was probably perfect weather. Kind of like when you put in greenhouse plastic on, you want it to be
Mm.
70-ish degrees because you don't want it too cold and you don't want it too hot. So I'm like, I think we're kind of like in the perfect range for this. So we'll find out.
Yeah. Cool, man. Fencing's fun.
Fencing's fun. Yep. I just can't get over how much time there is for building fence. And I don't think the average person really thinks about it. It's like, oh, it's a nice looking fence. But it's never like, oh, there's like lots of hours there.
Oh yeah.
Have you
Every
figured
time I
out
see a fence driving down the road, I'm just like, that's a good looking fence.
you appreciate it now?
Yeah.
Have you figured out how many hours you have in your fence?
Oh man. I don't think I have ever thought about it. I don't know. No, I don't know.
He measures it in seasons.
Yeah. I
In
measure it
winters,
in years.
years gone by.
Let's see, how many days in the winter? Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I never thought about that, but I mean, I imagine I feel like I got kind of got lucky with the property because kind of already kind of was there.
Right.
Like a lot of the posts were there, not the corners, but for the most part,
Hmm.
I think I would still be working on it probably.
Yeah. Our front line was in. We were able to take out the old posts. We omitted half of them, and then we put new posts in the old holes, kind of
Mm.
thing. And the rest of them we ended up, so like the other 90, we ended up having to drill.
So those posts were they the hemlock?
We used mostly hemlock. We used some cedar. We had some cedar logs that we had milled down. So
I
it'll
noticed they
be
were like a light color. Weren't they like a lighter color?
the lighter color with the cedar.
Okay.
The darker ones with a hemlock. It'll be interesting to see which ones last longer. I
Yeah.
think
It
it's
will
gonna
be
be
interesting.
I think it'll be the hemlock. That's my guess, but time
And
will tell.
they're 6x6s.
The cedars were 5 by 5s, which
Okay.
was, and they measured a true 5 by 5.
Oh,
Like
right. They look big. Yeah.
not like a 6 by 6 that measures like 5.5 by 5.5. They called these 5 by 5s, and they were a true 5 by 5. And then
Okay.
our cedars were 4.5 by 4.5 or 5 by 5, depending how many how we could maximize the most amount out of each log, kind of thing. Time will tell. The last cedar post I think that we took out, I think they were 25 years old. They were probably half rotted. So it's kind of like, yeah, I don't want to put a new fence on those. I'm sure if you weren't redoing the fence, it would have lasted. You know what I mean? If you just like, yeah, we'll just leave it, it probably would have lasted a little while longer.
Yeah.
So, so we finished up that. It's still not done. I mean, we got the majority of it done. We got to finish going around our leach field because it's a new leach field, and they do not want any livestock or even like goats or anything walking on the leach field. It's like right in the plans. It says like no,
Really?
nothing. Yep. So we got to fence that off. We'll do like a little pretty fence. And then up by the driveway, we want to do we got the post already, and we just got to do the rails on that.
What about chickens?
What's that?
What
You
about
could probably,
chickens?
chickens can probably go on, but they don't want
Yeah.
like any big lawnmowers or anything going on it.
Heavy.
Anything heavy. And I
Yeah.
think the cows and livestock, they don't want the hoof prints going in.
Oh,
But with the old style, the leach field is where the old one used to be. And the old style leach fields, like the stone ones, the livestock can go on them.
No problem.
No
hmm.
problem. We tried to do that one again, but they wouldn't let us. Just with all the new regulations, the state doesn't really care for the old stone style. But I mean, they've worked forever. Then we went back in the house. I got to get my notes out. And we started working on framing up our interior walls where we have a post and frame log house or post and frame hand hewn beams. They're probably like every 4 feet. So when we took down the plaster and lav, they had the lavs up, and then to strengthen the lavs in between, they just had like a random 2 by 6, like in between, like like it wasn't attached to anything in the wall. It was just floating, and then the lavs were nailed to it. So when we took down all the lavs, all that came. So the walls are so they're hand hewn posts, so they average 4 inches to 4.5 inches thick. So a 2 by 4 isn't thick, like a nowadays 2 by 4 isn't thick enough, and then a 2 by 6 is too thick. So I was trying to figure out the best way to do it. What I came up with is we spaced a kiln dried 2 by 4, which is 3.5 inches off of the wall, so that we'll put foam behind. Like when we do the spray foam, the foam will go behind it. But the hard part was, I don't say the hard part, but the part that was time consuming is I had to use a level and make sure every stud was in plane with the next stud or the rough sawn post next to it. So it was, I mean, it was like every room like almost took me a day. I was like, oh. And then where they had windows, they would cut a post. So sometimes it was just a 4 by 4 post. But say there was a 4 by 4 post, they decided they want to put a window there. They cut the 4 by 4 post where the window went, put the window in, and then took that 4 by 4 post and screwed it to or nailed it to the side of the window with no headers or nothing. Yeah. And sometimes they took out some big posts that were like structural posts. I'm like, you just built this house. Like, why would you not make your windows go somewhere else?
Hey, all of that post is still there, so it's still structural,
Right.
right? Just nail it to the side of the window. Like I see nothing wrong here. No problem.
And then I'm in my head, I'm like, I want to get all this extra wood down because like I can't insulate it. So they would have like that 4x4 post there. They would randomly have like another piece of 4x4 post in between. And I was trying to take them down. What I figured out is they boarded the house on the outside. Well, if one of their boards wasn't long enough, they wouldn't cut it back to hit an old post. They would just put a piece of wood and and it was usually like a big piece of log or 4x4, and they would nail the wood, then they'd
A
start another
tree,
board. Yeah. Oh.
a
Sounds
stump.
sounds like whoever did that work must have moved down and built my barn.
That was back when like lumber was like so the beam this was like the part that's kind of like intriguing to me. The beams are hand hewn, but all of the boards are sawn. So it's kind of like I would have thought if it was sawn, everything would be sawn. It'd be a lot easier to saw, I would think, like post and beams versus just boards or with a hand hewn axe. But so we got most of the room done, and then there were most of that part of the house done. And the next day there was an area that had a window, and we're gonna make it into like a study. And there was a window and a window on this wall. We're keeping this window. The window on this wall was where our porch is, and it's kind of like a weird spot. It's like if you want to put like a chair or swing, it was a big window, and you'd have like that close to the window. And I'm like, we already have three other windows on the porch, and it's a short wall. I'm like, I gotta clean it up. I want to take the window out. And one of my reasonings was is if I studded everything off, it would have been like all wood in the wall and no insulation. So that wall, we took everything out. We opened it up to the outside. No framing except for the front corner that had the post and it's still. And then we ripped down 2x6s to 4.5 inches wide, and I framed it all up. And I'm like, I told Gina, I'm like, this is what I wanted to do to the whole house. I wanted to just like when we got this far, and I'm like, I just wanted to gut it all, just to the post and beam frames, and then restud it, and then put zip board on the outside. I'm like, if it was earlier in the season, I would have had a harder time to not do it. I said, or if we had gone into the house that we were gonna we were gonna remodel it already in our head. I'm like, we probably would have done this. She was like, I'm glad this is the first time I'm hearing that. So that area is all framed up and it looks nice. It's kind of like I don't know if you'd call it OCD, but like when you start doing stuff and you're used to seeing it one way and then you see it a different way, it's like, no, that's not right. Like I shouldn't leave it that way. Like I want to do it like this.
Yeah, that's tough, Al.
Yeah, we're getting
Just
there.
just get it up, Al, and just move in.
Get up, move in. It's ready for that part's ready for installation. We're ready for that's the other thing too, is I had to also make it so we could do rough wiring and connect, outlet boxes to something with all so now with the framing we have a place to put outlet boxes. We have a place to drill holes and run our wiring. So that feels good. Now we got to tear apart the upstairs floor in two rooms. So we have the hand hewn beams in the ceiling, one room will be the study. The other room will be a sitting room. We want to take the floor out. So the floor is sawn boards, but they're like 1/2 inch thick boards and then 1 inch thick boards on top. And the 1/2 inch thick boards have like big gaps. Like they weren't tight. They have big gaps and they have like the bigger boards on top. So when you're walking, everything is just like wonky and you can feel it. So it's like, yep, that's got to come out. So that'll be the next process. We're
Just
getting
like
there.
eating an elephant.
That's right, one bite at a time. It doesn't matter where you start.
The
Is that how
house
you felt?
elephant, the house elephant, and the fencing elephant.
Right. Is that how you felt, Ben, when you started your first rebuild of that property?
Kind of. When you're staring at the beginning of the project, it just you see everything that needs to be done, but then as you start chipping away at it, it's like, well, I don't have to do that again, and I don't have to do that again. It's a good feeling.
It is. Yep. I know when we did our first house when we moved back up here, we had it framed and then we redid it. We did everything else ourselves. I remember the first day going there, going like, where the heck do I start? That's why I said to myself, it's like eating an elephant, just one bite at a time and start somewhere.
Yep.
Like this elephant is getting bigger every time I go. It was a small elephant, now it's a bigger
Right.
elephant.
It was a baby elephant. Now
Yeah.
it's mama.
Yeah.
So that's been my week. What did you get into, Jason?
Yeah, we had a good busy week, I felt. So last week I mentioned I shipped some meat.
Oh, yes.
So I had just shipped it out, so I wasn't sure how it was going to arrive or nothing. So let's see. So I shipped out meat. Um, it was like 5 p.m. I dropped it off at UPS because the last pickup for them is 5:30. So I got there at 5. So it pretty much went out right away. And so it arrived in California at 10 a.m. the next day.
The next day. Wow.
Yeah. And
Was
so
were they home to get it at 10 a.m.?
I wasn't sure if he was home or not. I just noticed that the tracking said it had arrived.
Gotcha.
So then I talked to my uncle who I sent it to, and he was just like, he said everything was frozen.
Awesome.
Everything's still way frozen. The dry ice was completely melted. Um, yeah, he said everything was fine otherwise. So it's crazy how, I mean, that's pretty quick.
There it is.
I mean, what is that? I think that's like 17 hours, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's just kind of interesting how that whole process works. It's like, oh my gosh, it's a lot. It's a lot to do, but it worked, you know. It just it just costs money to ship.
Right.
So, yeah, whether I'll continue doing it, I don't know, but just kind of nice experiment to try out and everything was fine.
Yeah. So at least you had a good experience with it too.
Yeah, I think it was good. Yeah, my concern that, got delayed or something. I probably could have got away with not putting dry ice, I would think. Maybe just put ice packs if I'm doing it like overnight, like
Yeah.
one day. Or if I was to put dry ice, maybe I could have got away with 2 day and it'd
Yep.
have been a little bit cheaper. But
How
again,
much
you just,
more was it for dry ice versus regular ice?
well, I don't know. I mean, there's like those little ice packs that you could buy, those like
Yeah.
kind of throwaway ice packs. I don't know how many I would put in there. I would bet it wouldn't be 5 pounds worth, because the dry ice was 5 pounds.
Okay.
I'd probably be less than that.
What did the dry ice cost for 5 pounds?
I think it was around $9.
Okay. So the big expense is the shipping.
Oh yeah. So yeah, everything was good. I have yet to hear if he cooked anything, so we'll see about that. So what else? So yeah, so well, I don't know about you guys, but every time I go to a grocery store, I'm always looking at prices. I'm always looking at things like I'm going to the chicken section. I'm seeing I'm seeing what they're doing in the chicken section, or where they have organic chicken, do they got pasture raised, stuff like that. I'm always kind of like seeing, even in the vegetable aisle, I'm looking, we grew like cabbages, like how much is a head of cabbage? I'm always trying to like, I don't know, I'm just kind of seeing what's going on in the real world.
I
Um,
like seeing during this time of the year, like what is a farm fresh turkey going for at a grocery store?
yeah, that
That
too.
yeah.
Eggs, carton of eggs. So we went to Whole Foods this week and I went straight to the hot sauce aisle. That's another one. I'm looking at the hot sauce. I'm seeing where the hot sauces are made. I'm seeing what's the ingredients in all these hot sauces and all this stuff. And so I'm out there. I'm like checking the ingredients. I'm like, they're in the girls. They're out, shopping, whatever. And then I noticed this older lady's behind me. She's kind of looking at the aisle. I don't know if she was looking at the hot sauce or what, but and then I hear her. She goes, "So, are you a hot sauce connoisseur?" I almost busted up, man. Like, I was dying inside. And I turned around and I was like, why, yes, I am. She goes, I know nothing about hot sauce. She goes, but I have a son that loves this stuff. And he's like, what do you recommend? Like, what are you looking for? And I was just like, well, since you ask, I sell my own hot sauce. I started talking like that. And then I was like, well,
You
these ones are pretty
you
good.
you did a pitch in the store. That's hilarious.
And yeah, it was like I was trying not to laugh so much. And I was like, well, I like this one. She was like, I'm looking to get something like right now. Like I want to, my son's coming over and I want to give him some hot sauce. I was like, oh, maybe try this one. So like she picked one out and then it's funny though, because like on the way to Whole Foods, me and Lorraine had this conversation when I was like, you know what? I should bring a couple bottles of my hot sauce. Like I should just bring it. She goes, "Why you want to bring your bottles of hot sauce for you?" Like I was like, "I don't know. What if I see somebody? Like what if I could just like hand somebody some hot sauce? That maybe I'll meet somebody, right?" And she goes, "You're not. Who are you gonna meet? Like we're just going to Whole Foods, you know?" And this happened. This would have been the perfect opportunity.
Yep.
I would have just handed her a hot sauce in my pocket, from my pocket. I would have been like, "Oh, well, here you go." Missed opportunity.
Yep.
I'm telling you, my spidey senses were saying, bring 2 bottles of hot sauce to Whole Foods, and I
You'll have to
missed it.
listen next time.
I know. Now I'm not leaving the house without a bottle of hot sauce to give away. It was so funny, man. Like it was so funny. Like even Lorraine saw me. She comes down the aisle and she saw me talking to this lady about hot sauce. And I knew right away she knew what I was talking about, like that whole situation. And she was like, she just laughed at me like from afar. And it was so funny, man. Like, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, so I sold her a bottle of hot sauce at Whole Foods. It wasn't mine though. It was great. So what else?
Speaking of hot sauce, when does your new batch go live?
That goes on this Saturday, November 1st.
This Saturday. Shoot.
Nice.
That's November 1st, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. So November 1st, um, the next batch of hot sauce goes out on the
Nice.
website. So people are still trying to get in there early. People are emailing me, "Hey, can I pay you for some hot sauce, man?"
What time? Like midnight or like 12 a.m.?
Um,
12:01
it's no, probably around the afternoon,
afternoon.
like 12. I'm trying to cater to the East
Okay.
and West Coasters.
Yep.
I don't want to do it too early. People are still in bed out west. So I think it'll probably be about 12. I'll put it out there up there. And then I'm doing a video about it that same day. So Saturday. That's the
Noon
day.
Eastern time.
There you go, yeah. So another big thing we did this week was finish off our turkeys. I did a little turkey wrestling this week. This was our third turkey butchered of the year day. So we broke up 25 turkeys in 3 days. So like the first day was like 5 turkeys, and then the next day was like 10, and then this was like the third day. So it was a matter of like 2 weeks of just, slowly like waiting a week and then butchering the rest. Um, so we did the bigger tom turkeys in the beginning, and then this last batch were mostly smaller turkeys. Um, and that really went really good. It's a nice. I think it was nice to break it up because it's not so like, it's a lot of turkeys to do in like 1 or 2 days. But it was actually a nice day. I think we started at 9. We were done by 12. Which is not terrible. Plus, it was
Yeah, that's
great
not bad.
weather. Yeah. When you first getting the turkeys out of the coop, it's pretty easy because they kind of come to you and you just sneak up on them and grab a leg. But then as you're starting to do them all, you get towards the end of them. The last few they catch on. They catch on to what you're trying to do here. And so then they start like running away from you. So that last tom turkey, what I was doing, I was getting the turkeys because I have them in the big metal coop that I have. And that coop worked good for them because they were bigger birds too. And so I was moving them into the little other little coops that I have. So it was easy to get them in there because it was a smaller space. But towards the end, I was just grabbing them from the bigger coop. But the bigger coop, there's more room for them to run around. So it literally felt I was like in a cage match. Because then once they start flapping their wings, man, like don't get your face in the way because they'll just like smack your face. So you kind of have to like move your head out of the way and like with your other hand, you're like kind of reaching for them. So this one, man, like the last one, I'm pretty sure it was a Tom Turkey, one of the bigger ones of that day, and man, it just was putting up a fight. I pre- I had to like manhandle him and just like, all right, come on. But yeah, we are fighting to the death, and I won. So yeah, so total we had I think the smallest turkey was 11 pounds, and then the biggest one was 19.
That's
So
not bad.
so I think last year we had like a 24, 25 pounder in there. Um, so we didn't grow them out as long this time. And I think that was like a good range too. There was only like two 19 pounders. So yeah, I think it went pretty well. And then after we bagged them up and everything, then send out my emails. And so if anyone's listening who hasn't purchased yet, I think as of right now, there's like two people that haven't purchased yet. Um, but for the most part, most of the turkeys are already paid for. I think there's a few in there, and then I have some people on a wait list that wanted to be on a wait list for the rest. So I think either way, they're gonna all be sold. They should all be sold by the time this podcast goes out, hopefully. But yeah, it was pretty good. I don't know. Turkeys are a lot of work to butcher. I was trying to think why are they? Well, they're a lot of work because they're bigger birds, but of course it would be easier if I had bigger equipment. That's the main thing. Not to say when we do it, it's fine, but it just would be a little bit easier with like a bigger scalder and bigger plucker and stuff like that. Because a lot of it before I put them in the plucker, I take out their bigger feathers, and that helps a lot. But that
That's
takes
what we
time.
have. Yeah, we have to do the same thing with our plucker.
Yeah, I mean, it helps a lot, but yeah, see, like stuff like that. I mean, I don't know if you'd have to do that anyways with a bigger plucker. I don't know, but
I was
um,
told the bigger pluckers are good for the bigger turkeys or for the turkeys, but they're too big for chickens.
oh, really?
Yep.
Almost like
Like,
maybe you need like multiple chickens in one
yeah,
at the
you have
same
to
time.
probably do like three or four chickens in at once in one of
Uh,
the big ones to get
Interesting.
everything moving around.
Hmm.
Yep. So it's kind of like, we- what do you like? What are you going for? I guess like, what are you doing more of?
Yeah, I know. And equipment's so expensive, you know. So I don't know, but not to say it can't be done. We did it. It's just maybe takes a little bit longer. But I mean, again, yeah. I mean, geez, I can't see doing any more than what we did this year. 25. 25 is a lot for us. I don't know if I want to do more than that. You know, because we went through 1,000 pounds of feed, a little bit more than 1,000 pounds, and then butcher day is like the main thing. But yeah, bagging them all and then all the freezer space, like we barely made it with the freezers with everything else that's in there. So yeah, any more, yeah, we any more we would have to get for sure another freezer. So far so good, but yeah, that's about it. Just enjoying all this rain we'll be getting this week. No snow though.
Did you get any more chips dropped off?
Uh yet yes. Well, I had 3 loads dropped off.
Nice.
That was a matter of like 2 days. Three
Yep,
loads in 2 days, and then that was it.
that's it. They moved on.
Yeah. So the folks listening, we're all sending each other wood chip pics. Let me see your wood chip pile. Hey, look at this.
I
That's
think my
funny.
guys moved on too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think so.
Man, that's it. What about you? What have you been?
I topped out at 7, and then they moved on. Hey,
Yeah.
the wood chips you got are better than the wood chips you don't got,
Yeah,
They
that's
right?
should
true.
last us all quite a while. What we all have, I would think.
Yeah, this will last a while. I think last year I probably got like 6 or 7 loads, and I was able to make it last all year. But it was getting kind of scary there. I was like consolidating, everything I had into one pile. It's like, I'm gonna have to get the wood chipper out and start making my own wood chips. This is getting kind of scary. And then the next day was when I started getting some wood chips.
That's
Now,
great.
do you guys cover yours with a top or anything to dry them out, or you just leave them out to the
Just,
rain?
just leave them.
Yeah, probably should cover them, but
If I had a shed I could stick them in
hmm
to where they could dry, that's where I would put them. Probably once my lard puppies are out of their pen, that's where I'm going to stick wood chips. Um, but until then, yeah, they're just outside getting rained on.
Yep. I was thinking about once. once I know I'm not getting any more wood chips, I think I got a big billboard tarp that was left behind at the farm. It's old. I'm like, yeah, maybe I'll just throw that on it and see how that does for drying them out.
It's probably best. It'll last longer.
Yep. And then I think it'll make better bedding once they're dry. It'll absorb more
Yeah,
stuff.
or it'll just turn into a giant grass hill. You're making a mountain.
Right.
That's what some of mine turned into. So what's going on, Ben? What you do this week?
It was like a crazy busy week, but then not at the same time. Like it was kind of chill. So I think I talked last podcast about processing some pigs. We put 4 pigs in the freezer because we were hurting for pork. Well, the everybody will be excited to know that smoking bacon season has started. It is officially kicked off.
I thought I
Uh,
smelled it.
you probably could have smelled it. I smoked the heck out of this bacon.
Mm.
So we put these pigs in the freezer, and I got all the bellies curing. Well, we had some friends come over, and they camped here, and they stayed with us for 4 days. And I really wanted to have bacon before they got here. And so I'm looking at the calendar. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4. This bacon needs at least a week to cure, and they're gonna be here before that week is up. And you know what? I'm just gonna go for it. So I pulled this bacon. It had only been on cure for, I don't know, 3 days, something like that. I pulled it, stuck it in the smoker, smoked it, and then the next morning sliced it up. I think the only thing I notice is it seems, I don't know if fresher is the right word. It seems really fresh, but it still tastes exactly like bacon. It tastes really good. It just seems fresh. Uh,
Mm.
we're still cooking it to death, so it's not like I'm worried about it not keeping. Uh, Bacon's one of those things. The way we're curing it, we could hang it and dry it if we wanted to, which supposedly that's better bacon anyways. It's supposed to be the best bacon you can get. But we just don't do that. We keep it raw even after we're smoking because we're cold smoking it. But yeah, and I only did a pig's worth of belly, so it was like 2 great big slabs of bacon. And I actually took some advice from viewers because we've talked about the meat slicer not being big enough for these big old slabs of bacon. It's like, man, how big of a meat slicer do I need so I could do these whole bellies? Uh, and we got quite a few emails last time we had talked about it, going, hey, like fold the belly in half and then slice it. I was like, oh, that's genius. Um, but then my kind of last straw that I figured I would try is just holding the slab, taking the moving table off, and just holding the slab and running that over the blade. Um, it's cool until you get down to where it's like, a couple inches wide, and it's like, all right, I'm not comfortable doing this anymore. But when you
Yeah.
have 8 inches of bacon between you and the blade, it's not the
I
worst
thought
thing
you
in
were
the
gonna say
world.
you take your chop saw, your miter saw, and you just slice it off.
Can you imagine the mess that would make? Oh my gosh.
It sounds like
There's
it would actually work. Like it almost sounds like that. Like it's a giant, just like a meat slicer. What if it was like a different blade on it or something? I don't know.
have to be one thin blade. I suppose it would work. You'd lose a lot of bacon though. That
Yeah,
kerf would
you
add
would.
up.
It would just like demolish it.
You'd be like, I started with 8 inches of bacon, and then you look at your stack, and it's like, I only have 4 inches of bacon over here stacked up. That means there's 4 inches on the wall back here.
You return it to Home Depot, you're like,
It
I
didn't
don't know
work.
what happened. I was slicing my bacon with it and it just like clogged up with meat.
That'd be a greasy, nasty mess.
That'd be great.
So yeah, I got some quick cured, some rushed bacon done so we could have bacon while our friends were here. Um, and it turned out great. It tasted like normal bacon, so I was happy. Apparently, it's probably not advisable to rush your curing process, but here it is. Now it's been over a week. Today's Monday. Bacon's been in there for a week and 2 days, so I can smoke the rest of it, but we'll get to that when we get to that now. It can stay in there on cure in the fridge until I need the room in the fridge. So, yeah. And then pretty much the rest of the week, we had our friends here. We hung out, uh, just, socialized, had fun. Their kids played with our kids.
No, no pig butchers.
No, we actually thought we were gonna have to shoot a coyote. Um,
Ooh.
all the kids were down in the barn, and us adults were up here in the living room. And all of a sudden, the kids come running in. They're like, "Dad, there's a coyote sniffing around the meat birds." And where the meat birds currently are, they're like just down from the house right here, so they're in like full view. Uh, and so I guess they had walked out of the barn and they see a fluffy tail move by because I have motion lights on the chicken tractors, and they saw a fluffy tail of a dog go walking by one of the motion lights, and they came running up here. So my friend's looking at me, and I'm like calmly getting up. I go grab the 22, and we're walking out on the deck, and I grab the spotlight. And I'm just looking around. It's like, no way, all those kids running up here. Did that thing stick around? And I look over in the yard, and we have a dusk to dawn light on our power pole. And so it's casting light out towards the orchard. I shine my spotlight out there, and sure enough, there's this thing running around, sniffing. Uh, couldn't get a shot off, but so me and my friend waited around. We figured it would come back, but I think too much noise and stuff like that had happened, so it got
I wonder if
scared
the
off.
same one who got the turkeys.
That would be my guess.
Mm.
That would be my guess. I really wanted to get it, but it's like, man,
Interesting. Yeah.
like I kind of didn't believe the kids. I was like, yeah, right. A coyote, like it was barely dark. It was like 8 o'clock. Like it was barely dark. I go out there and it was like, oh, sure enough. Okay. So now I'm on high alert. Anytime any of my alarms go off around the property, I'm like, okay, it's time to go. Uh, and you better believe, like our meat birds, probably actually when this podcast comes out on Friday, we're going to be getting ready to process some meat birds. These guys are at the end. They're ready, so ready to be stocked up with chicken again.
They survived.
They've survived, unlike my poor turkeys. But yeah, I'm ready.
Yeah, that's crazy. I don't think I've ever seen a coyote. I've heard them a little bit, but I don't think I've actually even seen one out here ever. Like in North Carolina,
Oh
I've heard
man,
them. I've heard them, but I don't think I've actually seen one.
they were going off the other night. Actually, is that the same night they were going off? That might have been the same night. As soon as it got dark, like it was just starting to get dark. That was the night prior. Yeah, it was the night before they were going off. Man, it's such an eerie sound. And then they'll all be going off and carrying on, and then it's like someone just hit the stop button and they just all go silent all at once. It's
Mm.
the weirdest thing. Yeah, coyotes crying, give me the creeps. It's just like
I
such an
remember,
eerie sound.
yeah, when we're in our 1.5 acres in our mobile home, our house is like right along the side of a road, a road. And I remember a couple of times you'd hear the coyotes, and you hear it almost sounded like their nails on the street, like tat, 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 tat. And you would hear them like growling and all this stuff, and like almost like a bunch of them, like, and then it's like they were walking down the street, and their nails are just like hitting the ground.
Hmm,
Um, it's a weird feeling, like when you hear that. It's like, whoa, that sounds like a bunch of coyotes just walking down the street.
crazy. So, uh, part of the reason for our friends coming down for a visit was this weekend. There's an event that goes on that's pretty close to us. It's over in Vale, North Carolina. Um, there's this pioneer village. It's called Hart Square. There's this Dr. Hart, and he really believed in like preserving historical buildings. And so he's got this 200-acre plot where he's amassed it's over 100 buildings, like from the early 1800s. No, from like the 1760s, I think is how old the oldest ones are, all the way up until almost the 1900s. He's got just old historical buildings, log cabins, and he's basically on this great big property. He's built this it's like a city. It's a city out in the woods,
It's a little town.
a little town of all these historical buildings. And once a year, they have this big event where they get like period correct demonstrations going on, and the entire town comes alive. Uh, the blacksmith, there's a dude there doing blacksmithing. Every shop or building you go into, there's someone doing something. They light fires in all the fireplaces in the houses. Like the houses feel alive, they feel lived in. And you'll walk in there, and there'll be these ladies in their dresses and aprons cooking, pumpkin pies
Like
and
real
stuff like
food
that.
cooking in
Like
the fireplace,
real food that you can eat.
which is crazy.
Like you go down by the little sawmill, and they hold a competition every year of who can use a two-man saw and cut a log the fastest, and then the winner gets a apple pie. Like and the apple pie is cooked like next door, so it's pretty cool. So this is the third year we've gone to it, and we had when we were up in Kentucky visiting our friends, we brought it up, and they're like, "We've never heard of this. Like this sounds incredible." And so they planned a trip, kind of short notice. It was only like a 2 week turnaround for them, but we are like, "Hey, just come camp at our place." So that's what they did. They came and pitched a tent and hung out. It was really cool. I don't think we've ever had anybody stay like in our space that long, and it was completely cool. We had a blast. It was so much fun. So yeah, went and did that event and had a blast. It was really cool. It's a really cool event. Um, they also have bluegrass bands. Like a lot of the front porches of some of these houses, there'll be just a group. Uh, I know last year there was a group of like under 18 young girls all playing instruments and singing, playing bluegrass, and they were really really talented. Some groups are older, some groups are younger. It just depends. It really makes the whole event kind of hopping. Like it's really cool. So a lot of people, a lot of families, a lot of kids wandering around. It's just a really cool event. So got recognized. Had a guy walk up. We were finishing. Jason, you just missed it. He came walking up right after we got done eating lunch. He's like, "Hey man, I love your videos and I listen to the podcast." So it was cool. It was cool getting to talk to
That's
him.
neat.
Usually, like this isn't like a homesteading event, but then it's kind of in the same wheelhouse as homesteading.
Yeah.
Um, I would say we've only been recognized once or twice out of the 3 years we've gone, which is great. Like it's great. I don't mind talking to people, but it's kind of cool feeling like just a normal nobody wandering around and nobody knows me. Like it's kind of cool. Kind of feels nice. So it was cool.
They had there was a guy filming there for PBS. I don't know if you saw him.
Yeah, I saw the massive camera wandering around.
Yeah.
Is that
He
what he was
watches
doing?
our channel. He stopped me and he
Oh
was like, "Hey
gosh.
man, I watch your channel all the time." I was like, "What?" I was like, "What are you doing? What are you filming?" I didn't know he was filming for PBS, but he's like, "Oh, I'm filming. We're doing a special on PBS." I was like, "Oh wow, you work there." So it was kind of funny, but he had this huge giant camera.
Man, that lens looked like a trash can. It was so big.
Yeah.
It's like, gosh.
You know what I had there? I don't know if you guys ever had it, but it was one of the food trucks. They had a bunch of apples there you could buy, and they had apple cider. But just like regular apple cider, I'm sure you guys had cold apple cider. It's just apples, but he had carbonated apple cider.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Like it was nothing in it. It was just apple cider. It was like regular apple cider, except it was just carbonated, and it was in a can. And I was like, "Oh, I'll try this." And it tasted like it tasted kind of like a soda, like a Coke, but except it was apple cider, and there was like no sugar in it or nothing. It was just apple cider. It was just apples, and then it was just carbonated.
Come on, Jason. You never had Martinelli's?
Yeah, I guess it was like that, but it was way better than Martinelli's.
I bet it would be.
Like it was
Tastes like
more
fresh.
flavorful. Like even yeah, I've had Martinelli's before, but I never. It even occurred to me like, oh, this tastes like Martinelli's. It just had like its own flavor. But yeah, I don't know, it was actually pretty good. I don't know.
Now I'm gonna have to try that. We got some apple cider in the fridge. We got a soda stream. Maybe I'll try taking
Oh
some of that
yeah.
stuff and carbonating it.
It was
That'd
interesting.
be
I don't think I've seen that in a can like that.
that'd
Uh,
be kind of cool.
yeah, it's neat. It's a neat little place. I know me and Ben were talking about we need to do a pig butchering here,
There you go.
1800 style.
So were you did you make it up to the fort and see the guy who was grinding corn? It
I
was
was there, but I didn't see the that part.
you know he was like on the other side of the building.
Oh, I
So
didn't see it.
I walked over there. It's the only live chickens I saw in the entire place. It's like they had a couple animals up front when you walk in over by the jail, and there's like
Mhm.
a goat, a sheep, and a mini horse or something like that.
Yeah.
No chickens, no chickens anywhere, no pigs, no like, anyways. Well, I walked over and I'm talking to this guy and he's like, he's just grinding corn and showing how to, make chicken feed and stuff like that. And he's got these old antique, he's got a little corn sheller and then a little grinder, little hand crank grinder. And so I'm just making small talk with him. And then, like, something, I don't even know what we said, but all of a sudden we're talking about chicken butchering. And he's like, yeah, actually, I was supposed to be doing chicken butchering this weekend, but I couldn't get my hands on any Cornish cross. I was like, what? They're cool with that? And he goes, oh man, the people putting this on are all about it. I was like, no way. Like
Yeah.
that's kind of crazy. And so I kind of said something to him about, do you think they'd be cool with like a hog butchering? Like, is that something? He goes, you'd have to talk to them. They probably would, especially if it's the old school way, scalding and scraping. Like he was pretty up on all this stuff. But yeah, I thought it was kind of interesting. It's like, man, that'd be kind of cool. Me and Jason get together. I mean, it's
We'll
all
be
volunteers.
we're gonna be ladling on this hot.
I mean, I'm pretty sure they had a rope and pulley back in the 1800s. Like we could figure it out. I don't know what we would do. They probably didn't have 55-gallon drums, so we'd have to,
A tub or something,
yeah, like a tub.
Bathtub.
bathtub, and then like with some ropes and turn them over.
Yeah,
Hmm.
that's an old school way of doing it. You put chains in the bathtub and then
Yep.
you just sit and work the pig back and forth.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be really cool.
It'd be neat. Yeah, I don't know. I think it'd be neat. Like the whole setting is just so like I don't know. It just really feel like you're in like back in time.
Yeah, you do.
Like
You,
everything.
you'd have to get the right clothes then, I would say. Well,
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, no problem. No problem. Man, there are so many people dressed up.
Yeah.
Like there's the people that are volunteering, but then there's also a lot of people who are attending and they're dressing up. Because, I mean, look at the time. It's like a week away from Halloween. Yeah, heck yes, let's dress up.
Hmm.
Um, I saw like a shocking amount of homeschool families, more so than the past 2 years we've gone. And you could spot them because they all have handmade clothing that they obviously made. And it's like, it's on point. Like it looks period correct. And the whole family matches. Like I saw so many groups, and it's like, pretty sure that's a homeschool family right there. Pretty
Yeah.
cool. It was pretty cool.
Yeah,
they
that's neat.
charge for the event.
What
They
was
do
that?
They charge.
charge. They charge.
Yes, they charge
Yeah.
for it.
Yeah. You got to buy tickets. Um,
It's
and
not
then I'm
that
pretty
much, I don't
sure,
think.
no,
It's like 40 bucks, 30, 40
yeah,
bucks,
it's like
something.
30, 40 bucks, something like that. It's not outrageous.
Right.
It wasn't too bad for the whole family. Um, honestly, it's well worth it for us. It's really cool. I think what was crazy is like you can walk in almost every single building. There's a couple buildings that were closed because they're like renovating them. Um, but there's a guy there actively putting chinking back in one of these log cabins. And it wasn't that he was there demonstrating, he's there working that day and he's part of the team that preserves these structures. And so you could just walk up and he's got his hands in mud and he's sitting here putting mud in all the in between the logs, and you can ask him questions and he's extremely knowledgeable telling you how it works and the science behind it. It's like, man, it's like an interactive museum. Like it's just cool. It's really
Yeah.
cool.
Hart Square Village.
Hart Square Village in Vail, North Carolina.
Yeah.
Check them out. They have a once a year event where it comes alive. So that's about it for my week. Wasn't super crazy. Had some fun stuff. It was nice. It's nice that the weather's turning.
Right on. So yeah, I think we're way over an hour talking about that village, man. I'm getting excited. We'll be butchering some pigs over there.
You guys will be there next
But
year.
you never know. Well, we'll leave it at that, guys. Thank you guys for listening and watching this podcast. We really appreciate it. Happy fall, and we'll see you guys next week.
Have a good week.
Later, everybody.